All right, what we're gonna do is this. Is we're gonna talk about this right here, and we'll talk about some of this. But I'll start off by saying this. My name is Matt, and I am a real alcoholic. You know, this journey started with this. Started with this right here. Now, real quick, started with that right there. The book is blue. Sonic the Hedgehog is blue. Okay? The first 3 degrees are called the blue degrees. And there's 12 steps. 12 degrees. Just throwing that in there because most individuals in those rooms are so lost, and you can't just come out and say that because people will jump on you because they make those rooms their life, in which we need those rooms, but there needs to be something bigger, but they don't want you to know that it is. It's everything that we have. You know, either we're controlled or we're part of the being controlled. You understand? Either because we're considered under this entity right there, we are considered this goy. Okay, and real quick, my sobriety date is December the 17th, 2014. And I want to say this, 9 years will be this year from there, with nothing, no aspirin or nothing. Just the corruption that runs through me is going to be sugar and the chemicals that are in the Copenhagen. Because we're in the South down here. You know, truthfully, tobacco, it's like, no, you can't grow that. And it's like, you got to understand what this is first. Property. Okay. And I'm giving a brief little introduction because as far as an education goes, I don't have the universal university education, you know, that's given to us to build pride in the brain, you know, which is a whole nother video within itself. You know, my knowledge that will be coming through me is from many others that are on social media, but it's through reading, you know, and it's hard to explain when people don't understand what it's like to be against, you know, this, all of it. Let me just say all of it. Because there's nothing that we can do. There's nothing that we can do. Nothing whatsoever. Some of us get hit on the head and get special powers. That's all I can say. So what do you know this as right there? New World Order. Okay, well, but what do we do? What are we allowed to do here in America? What do we have the right to do? We have the right to own property. Yeah. Does some of y'all know about the checkerboard? You know about black and white? That has to do with Saturn, and a bunch of other stuff. Duality. Has to do with geocentric too, but we won't get into that. Black and white, as above, so below. You know, which is good, but it's been corrupted. And seeing these individuals that create nations in America, the United States is a corporation. You know, and It's got a treasurer. Any business and corporation is going to have a treasurer. Security, that's the armed forces. It's a corporation. And what they do is, let me read the definition of property right quick. When you see black, that means Saturn. Saturn's Law Dictionary. Because Saturn is the god of government and banking. Yeah. It's funny how the same banks were all around during all the wars. Same branches, people, same bloodlines. Yeah. Red Cross is coming in. You can't touch them. Hold up. Why didn't one of the sides be like, listen, we're going to go out there in Red Cross and just kill them all? It's because it was scripted. It's so easy to see it. But anyways, the definition of property is this. Rightful dominion. This is the definition by Roman law of property. Rightful dominion over external objects. Ownership. The unrestricted and exclusive right to a thing. The right to dispose of the substance of a thing in every legal way. To possess it. To use it. And to exclude everyone else from interfering with it. Roman law 265 something. And then it goes into property is the best right a citizen can have. Okay, well, but first we have to look at this. You got to go get your birth certificate. Okay, on it, it's going to say commerce. Commerce represents money. Do you go to Chick-fil-A? I don't know. What is chicken? It's property. To what? To Chick-fil-A. So when we're looking at USA, citizen means property. You're a thing. By definition, you're a thing in a hidden way. Because see, we've already identified in disguise to own something is an illusion created by the Illuminati. And see, you're part of a what? You're part of this. Wait, citizenship. Ship. Okay, and this is where it gets funky. Okay? Hang on. Yeah. You're part of a citizenship. Okay? There's a ship. And there's a woman. Okay? Deliver the baby. The ship's delivering cargo. The baby's in water. The ship's in water. The woman's going to give birth. The ship's going to sit at its birth. The woman's going to the doctor. The ship's going to the port authority. The captain. And so the head, the CEO, the captain of the ship is in charge of the capital, which is property. The CEO of the hospital is in charge of the property. The baby and the ship's coming down water. Both of them's producing cargo. The birth certificate says commerce. Whatever's on that ship represents what? Commerce. So what are you? A jelly donut. That's exactly right. And there's a whole lot more we can get into with this. Port authorities. Port. Look, and see the word port comes from this. You got Portal. Every 90 days, check this out. And hey, this is 360 degrees. You need to learn this. Day one, you need a white chip. Come on up here and get you a white chip. You hold that for 90 days, you can come up here and get you a blue chip. Yeah, and then hold that for 90 more days, you get 6 months, half a year. Is that a yellow chip? I can't remember. And then hold that for 3 more months. That's 9 months. Nobody hardly ever gets that, but if you get through that, you got a better chance at the long run. You get a so-and-so chip, and if you hold that for 3 more months, guess what? We're going to get you a cake. Might sing happy birthday to you because you made it a whole year. But that's portal. Facebook comes from all that. You know, you've got friendship. Because, see, look, what it represents is this. You know, court. I mean, seriously, you go, everybody, that symbol right there is at half court everywhere on the basketball court. And the court comes from that. You understand what I'm saying? And so they go play ball on court. 2 teams go back and forth. Well, we're going to go to court. Summoned to court because you're dead. They summon the dead to court, and 2 lawyers go back and forth the same way on the courts. And see, the judge wears a black robe. Saturn represents black. Sits on a bench. Bench in Latin is bank. And see, this is where it has to do with water. Maritime Admiralty law, the beast out of the sea, admirals in charge of the ship. You know, on both sides of rivers, there's banks because the banks control the flow of the currency. Banks control the flow of the currency. Although the currency is the blood within you. You know, you get liquidated. It's all, you know, circuit court has to do with this. Circuit comes from circle. This is charging us. You get charged because you've got 3 counts you've got to go to court for in front of Saturn. Now you're fixing to open up 3 accounts because Saturn is the god of banking and law. And the hammer is Thor, hammer of justice. You graduate from high school through 12 grades, never learning 12 constellations or anything. You wear a black robe, square mortarboard. Square represents Saturn. Black robe, judge, Saturn. If it's red, it's Mars. And what do the referees wear? Black and white, because they're judging the game. Because it's all one big game. But this is an illusion. This is an illusion. You know, you're on the docket when you go to court. Water term. You got common law, maritime law. When you go into that gate, you're in big boy. The old courtrooms, the judge would be 6 feet above you. Because what are dead people 6 feet below? Are you incompetent? Hold up. I was born as an image of God. I'm competent. But you will be labeled incompetent. It says Department of Agriculture on there. On there. Go buy a cow. It'll say the same thing on its birth certificate. Masculine and feminine, that's ours. Go buy a dog. It'll say male on the birth certificate. What will it say on yours? Male. Saturn's the god of numbers. Of numbers. credit cards, checks, accounts, address. You understand what I'm saying? Pills, channels, TV. And see, TV is spelled this way because Saturn is the cube. Because see, in sorcery you got to have a source. And the TV is going to represent a medium. Those represent mediums. Medium. Channels. Channeling into the motor, into the mind. While this is under the influence, the mind's under the influence of that. This is channeling. Channeling. Dark art, black magic. Saturn devours his own children. Saturn represents the cube. In most of your playgrounds now, there's a cube in there. Hunger Games, watch the beginning again. It's funny how that's all about the capital and all that. But there's a big cube in wherever they're at. Just letting you know it's Saturn. AC/DC, Back in Black, that's Saturn, I'm back. See, if we knew the zodiac, we knew what was up. But no doubt, Gwen Stefani, the name of the album, Return of Saturn. And then see, you have, and this is all ecclesiastical, and they just use us. Michael Jackson with the ring around him on the cover with the one eye symbolism. And then you've got, Newport. And then there's Nike, the swoosh, that's Saturn. There's Saturn, that's the swoosh, that's Newport and Saturn. See, Nike's tennis court, back and forth, judging the game. They play with a racket, it's all a racket. But all this right here is number. I mean, the numbers are, it's just, we do not understand anything. Once we can see that we're no different than that right there, that's it right there. Okay, so we have that, we have this. Okay, but you have to get a license. Right. To dig, fire, but man, it'll burn. Listen, I don't want to hear it, man. This is the Illuminati created everything y'all worship on TV and all that. It's ingrained in your DNA. That's not, listen. This is real stuff. Okay, you can't metal detect. You can't do that in most places. It's like we've grown up here next to this park, and it's like we've always been taught you can't metal detect. Why? If there's a museum, which there always is, an attraction everywhere, covering up the old world, but wouldn't you think that the people would be like, hey, listen, we're going to metal detect on certain days out here. We want you to come, and if you find anything, we're going to put it in the museum and display it. But if you take it, then it's a crime. No. We're not doing it at all. Because they know that we're going to find something under our feet. There's buried. It doesn't matter where you are. There's something under your feet. I'm trying to tie in something else right here. We can add all kind, and especially this right. As far as when it comes to this right here, construction, do you know how much shit you got to go through for all that? And all the surveying and all that? Well, yeah, listen. You got to do your research, man. You've got to start doing your research. It's all, even 18-wheelers and all that stuff. It ain't just like an American can just go out there and be like, you know what, I'm going to go get me a truck and get one of these companies to pay me. Nope, there's all these license fees and everything because it's all about this. It's all about this word right here. And you know, and this is one way you do it. You know, we've got indoctrination. It's real, man. Madame Blavatsky talks about how in the middle of the 1800s that the Vatican sent 5,000 priests over here. Yeah. We all know who they represent. Yeah. So you need to think about how many bloodlines have come from just those 5,000 priests and how many entities they've set up for the Illuminati or whoever it is that runs this thing that controls everything, that changes the minds overnight. Listen to me. This is what they do. I mean, they've been doing this a long time. They'll just, you know, force children or criminals. They'll grab them. They're like, look, come over here. We're going to let you, you know, you got to quit fucking up. And they'll go plant them just like a plant around orphans and criminals and slaves and whoever. And then they'll set a church up there. And those people have to go there. And then eventually people move in. It's a good community. And it's set up as a lie. And that's how people are morphed into Satan. Very slowly and then controlled. And then when it's time to kill that mindset, you just pull the roots out of the garden. And you start over. It's badass, truthfully, but it's just, it's beyond comprehension for the average person to even listen to this and be like, hey, he's crazy. It's insane. All the wars, the same banks as in all the lands, same currency was flowing around, same individuals. War? What war? This one. What are we going to use? All of this equipment. Wham! They showed up. Cameras and videos showed up. Do you see what I mean? How they sell it? You need to think about how much money that they have spent on German propaganda. You need to think about how many, start looking at stuff as productions. Then you'll really start getting somewhere on how they really cuss up. We all know what happened over there, supposedly. Dude, there is probably 30,000 different things on Adolf and all that. Like way overboard. Not just that, and then all the other ones. And the same people who give you all this stuff run Hollywood. It's insane, man. Listen, it's the big boys that's done this. You know, we're very limited. You know, and truthfully, this right here is a shipping term. That does not mean what you think it does. Freedom is not what that means. That's temporary. That's temporary freedom. Like if we're on a ship and we're going to land, then the captain or the admiral grants liberty to the crew for a week or a month or whatever, and then it's time to get back to the shit, to the maritime admiralty law, to business. Fuck time, playing time's over. And that's why they ingrain that in your brain. That's why you hear the commercials, liberty, liberty, liberty. You hear it on the radio, liberty, 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 liberty. It's listen, this is all these people have done right here. It's the power of repetitiveness. If you can add up what you hear every day, you'll be amazed. And that's all they do. It's so easy, but they just keep pouring it on. I'm talking about pouring it on. Breaking news, breaking news. And these dummies cannot they created the gadgets. I mean, that's the mind control. Look at what they've done. They've put everybody inside, literally toxin the minds of the whole world. Everybody's got whatever it is that's got them. It's a matter of time before it's all in flames, guys. I mean, and people just, hey, it's crazy. Hey, it's crazy. And they have that crazy, this look in them. You know what those numbers represent? Deities. Yeah. Deities, little demons. Yeah. Cannabis did all that. And cell salts. And hemp. I'm trying to get into the mushrooms, because my mind's corrupt with it. Because I grew up, it's like, that's all bad. Everything's bad, bad, bad. And it's like, damn. It don't look like it's bad because what y'all are doing ain't working. That's why I've told people. I'm like, the reason why I don't fit in is because even sitting back in meetings and stuff, people, just because they quit drinking don't mean they can't get better health-wise as far as eating. And then they lose a foot and 2 feet and then they die. Do you understand? It's crazy. And who wins? They do. Because, through our environment, all this right here has been created. It's not hard to see it, and that's all you've ever known. And then you've got Oprah Winfrey Network, which is them. If you was into wrestling, the WCW, Scott Hall, big, huge fan. I went through the power plant in Atlanta and was going to wrestle, and then somehow my higher power broke me in half and got me out of it. Thank God, I'd be dead already, but that's my journey. That's why I can get up here, and if I want to, I can play a good guy or a bad guy. Act if I wanted to, but no, this is who I am. This is what's morphed from there. And this is like the easiest way that can be explained. That's coming through me right now. Because it's all an illusion. We're a tenant in our own land. Doesn't matter how many properties you think you own, you don't. You're under New World Order territory. In a very hidden way. Love you.